Hi, I'm Steve Farrell, the Worldwide Executive Director of Humanities Team, and welcome to this very special interview with money and happiness expert Ken Honda. For the next half hour, I'll be interviewing Ken about his exceptional teachings on happy money. And I know this is going to be an enlightening and informative discussion about something that concerns us all greatly. I know you all will join my excitement as I welcome Ken Honda to the Global Oneness Summit, and welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Steve. I'm so happy to, and I feel so honored to be invited to your show and the summit. Thank you so much. And hi, everyone. My name is Ken Honda. I'm happy to spend time with you.
Well, we're really grateful to have you with us, Ken. As we were just sharing, boy, we really value our partnership with you. So let me tell you all a little bit about Ken. Ken is a best-selling development author whose books have sold over 8 million copies worldwide. Ken has worked in the Japanese business sector as the owner and manager of several businesses, including an accounting company, a management consulting firm, and venture capital corporation. He started his second career as a money and happiness expert after retiring from business to raise his newborn daughter. Ken's writings bridge the topics of finance and self-help, focusing on creating and generating personal wealth and happiness through deeper self-honesty. His latest book is called Happy Money, The Japanese Art of Making Peace with Your Money. You can learn more about Ken's work on his website, kenhonda.com, where he offers online mentoring, business seminars, transformational courses, and the online Arigato living community where participants connect with each other as they learn to create a peaceful financial future. And Ken, thanks again. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you. I'm so excited here.
So something that really touches me about your story, Ken, is how this path of yours as a money and happiness expert, it really came about as a result of experiences you had with family and parenthood. Of course, because there are only so many hours in the day, for many of us, these things have a give and take relationship. The more time you spend working to provide for your family, the less time you're able to spend with them, and vice versa. How has your understanding of that balance evolved over time? And what advice do you have for folks who are struggling to strike that balance?
Thank you. That's a very deep question. I love asking questions. So in my early 20s, and also when my wife and I found out that she was pregnant with our daughter, we just asked many people around us who have babies. And we asked them, what do you regret most? If you have anything, and the people in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and the answer is almost the same. They said, I wish I spent more time with my little one. I was too busy studying my business, or I was too busy working, and I was just too busy doing something. So I just thought maybe I should spend more time. And then I ended up spending 4 years of my life. I left my work, and original plan was only like a couple of months, but I got it extended to 4 years. And for me, I was very lucky. And if you're busy working hard, I know you feel like you can spare only like a few minutes, but time doesn't really matter when I think back. The emotional presence is more important. So even you have 3 minutes with your kids, you can just hug them or just making sure that they feel the love. I think to begin with, it's very important. And if you're lucky, you can spend more time.
Yeah, boy, beautiful. Yeah, and really being emotionally present, really feeling the energy of love. I like this definition that I hear increasingly where life is spelled out, love in full expression. Love in full expression is life spelled out. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, but ideally, if you could spend a month off, 2 months off, and potentially like 6 months off or a year, that was a time that I just cherished when I will be in retirement home of some kind. I think that's the best moment of my life. So a lot of people regret that they spent too much time in the office. So I'm just telling especially Japanese people, don't spend too much time working. And I think if you are viewing this, you speak English, so I think you are in Western culture. I think people are working too hard. So I think you really have to know that there's something else out in the world too.
Boy, that's for sure. That is for sure. Of course, our whole as humanities team is a 501c3 nonprofit. Our whole focus is what we call conscious living, and which means we're aware and conscious of kind of how life works, oneness, the diversity and unity, and these things. But conscious of what you speak, how we prioritize our time. I've learned some tough lessons when I was much younger. That
Mm-hmm.
just banging it out, working through weekends and things. That back in the days when Microsoft was started, there were a lot of people, including myself, that found some value in that. But oh boy, gosh, as I've grown, as you mentioned, this quality time with family where they really feel your love and vice versa, it's everything.
Yes, and I think these things we realize after the time is over. So we realize these things, or like how to do child parenting better after just they're like 15 and 17. So those are the things we wish we knew 20 years ago.
How old is your daughter now, Ken?
She's 25 now. We spent 3 weeks together. I talked and she sung. So we did a vision quest together in different cities. That was so rewarding because of a relationship. How many fathers could get to travel with a daughter for 3 weeks? Not many daughters would say even yes to a trip with my father. I'd rather die. So I'm very lucky as a father.
Yeah, you are. Boy, we created a program with Wayne Dyer's daughters, his two youngest daughters, Serena Dyer, Sage Dyer, and Sage Dyer also went out on the road with her dad before he passed there in 2015. And likewise just shared what an amazing thing it was. And then he actually transitioned shortly after their Australia. So boy, you're living life right. So,
Yes, I think Dr. Dyer probably felt happier about his relationship with his daughter than selling millions of copies or fame.
Yeah. Oh boy, no question. No question. And to hear them talk about their dad and their relationship with their dad and with their own kids, and astonishing. So I won't get off topic. I'll just say, since I surfaced this, we created a program called Life After Death with them because Wayne Dyer, even to this day, is working through them and through a medium, Karen Noe, or actually wrote a book through Karen Noe. And so we created a masterclass to just tell this whole story because it was so
Wow.
blowing. The notion of course, he was bigger than life when he was here, but he's still active in today's world. Isn't that something?
That's so beautiful.
So, Ken, I want to talk to you about something that you propose, this idea that money is energy, and energy, it can be positive or negative based on how you spend and receive money. So here at Humanities Team, we've been talking a lot about oneness, this unified field that connects all life and matter on the earth and in the universe. So it makes sense, of course, that money is a part of that as well. Can you talk about how money's energy is different from, say, something in the natural world, and how our relationship with it is different because of that?
Right. So when we get money, we are doing something in exchange for the work. So for example, when we work in a company, or if we work as a freelance, we do some kind of work. And then as an exchange for the work we provide, we get money. So that means that we are exchanging energy. So if we do so much out of love and then receive money, I think the money energy comes with love and appreciation. But when we just do something that we don't like, or we get yelled at from clients and customers, we feel so bad about work, and then we come home with frustrated energy. So that's why we are angry with our kids or husband and wife after we go home, because we're frustrated with the energy we exchanged. So money carries certain energy. If you receive it in out of love, you feel so relaxed and happy, and when you can go to sleep well. But if you don't make money through love and friendship and generosity, the frustration and anger and resentment which comes with money puts you out of bed, because you feel it. So my advice is don't come home with a bad energy.
Boy, that is so on target. I mean, I love that. Again, coming back to conscious living, which is what Humanity's team is all about. The whole idea, which is part of the reason we value our partnership with you, is like you, there's a higher goal, or we call it our bigger self, where we're operating from this, where we're in a sense, cells or organs of this world around us. There's this one energy, which science is increasingly affirming, that there's one universal consciousness animating and permeating all of life, and we're all a part of that. And where we're serving, coming as our bigger self, serving that higher, those higher causes, the humanity and the world around us, and where we're, so in a sense, it's a nurturing thing, it's a service-oriented thing. It's even, you could even use the word love. It's a loving thing, and where we're doing that and then earning money at the same time. Wow, I mean, what a beautiful thing. And then you're sharing, of course, the context of today's world, where many people don't put these things together at all, and where people are earning money because they feel like they need money and they want to earn more money, and it might not be nurturing, it might not be service-oriented, it might not be loving, might even be contriving, and so here you've got a contrast. In one sense, just this really beautiful thing that where your whole day is a beautiful experience, and you come home from that, and the other, an experience where you're really just trying to drive that top line and that bottom line as high as you can get it, and even with people and relationships as an expense. So that's a big contrast, isn't it?
So money touches every area of your life. It touches relationship, and it touches friendship, and work and money, work and financial health. So if you are transforming your energy around your life a little bit, like 10% happier, 10% less stress, your life quality will increase. So we cannot jump into our ideal life in 2 seconds. But it took me like 10 years to transition from a very frustrated accounting job to a happy sharing in my life. So, but you have to start from somewhere. So you have to start envisioning what kind of energy you're surrounded by, and then where you want to go.
So, and then Ken, you were sharing, you just came back from a trip over to Europe.
Mm-hmm.
You're out on the road quite a bit. So, and I'm going to guess as you travel, in some cases you're working with clients and audiences where it all falls together beautifully and naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And in other cases, maybe you didn't realize, you can feel an energy that's a little tense, a little stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you deal with that in the moment when you travel and you find that those situations where it's not what you thought it was going to be, and it feels maybe a little more tension in the air than you
Yes.
anticipated?
International travel teaches me how to surrender. So in Japan, I'm well taken care of, but when I go outside of Japan, everything could be unexpected. So I have to find the terminal, which airport, and then at the gate, and nobody to just guide me. So that is a very frustrating situation, but I'm learning how to surrender. And I ask people more questions. I'm more dependent. So in Japan, I'm very independent. So I don't have to ask people for support. But outside of Japan, I keep surrendering and then totally dependent on somebody for information and a lot of things. So I'm learning how to be more vulnerable, I think, outside.
Yeah, boy, that's beautiful. And vulnerable is how relationships are developed, right? Because where we're just open, and like you, and vulnerable, that really is the basis, I think, for good relationships to develop. So that sounds beautiful.
Yes, and I think I'm less judgmental when I go outside because everything is very, very exciting and interesting. I visited the 6 or 7 different cities, and then I learn from each culture. In Denmark, where people are the happiest in the world, but I made a lot of Danish friends this time. And the funny thing is, like, they're supposed to be the happiest, but they're saying, this is what they're saying, they keep complaining about the weather or other things. So, and I told them, you're lucky. The weather is the only thing they're complaining about. And in other outside of Denmark, we have to, we're complaining about the presidents, prime ministers, or local, garbage policy and whatnot. So we are creatures that tend to complain a lot anyways.
Right. Yeah. Also true. So now you wrapped up our conversation last year with a piece of wisdom that I've been thinking about. You said, and I paraphrase, that money is something to be enjoyed, not something to be feared.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, of course, money can be a huge source of stress in their daily lives. So what are some of the small ways that our viewers can start to move away from that fear and towards enjoyment if money fears are something they find themselves struggling with?
The reason why we are so fearful of money is we are always in a survival mode. And because just think about it, for most people, we spend 80-90% of our money for survival, the food and shelter and insurance. And I don't want to go into too much politics, but certain country in the world, medication is not free. Like in Denmark, all the medication is free. All the universities are free. And then if you get funded very well by the government, you have not much to worry about. But for many people who live in countries where you don't have that kind of support, you go into survival mode. You have to make a living. You have to bring money to bring food on the table. And that puts us into a survival mode. I've visited many countries where people are very happy. They have not much worry about survival or just worry about the future. So once you have the worry about the future, you have to learn how to let go of the worries you have for the future. And at the same time, since we have only little money left to enjoy, we have to come up with a system. And there are 2 problems of money. Either we're making too little or spending too much. For financially challenged people right now, you're doing both. You should make more money and you should spend less. So there's a little bit difference to be enjoyed. So you have to learn about money and money IQ side, financial intelligence, and also money EQ side, emotional intelligence. And unless you learn how to deal with practical field of money and also your emotional side of money, you cannot find happiness. And think about it. If you have more than enough, like every month, if you have so much money left in your bank account, you feel like investing, you feel like going on travel, you feel like doing something with the money. But if you have too little, and if you have the stress of making both ends meet, paying all the bills, then you worry. So you have to do a few things to manage your emotions and also practical side of money too.
Yeah, boy, that all makes sense. Now, of course, there's another element in here, which is that for many people, they'll grow up in homes where there's almost money is kind of pushed away. There's some fear of money. So there's kind of a scarcity mentality that can be even generationally passed down family to family to family. Because I've heard from so many people, there was this sense of that like money's evil or something. Can you talk a little bit about that, where this kind of thing comes in too?
So I have this, my little hobby is to collect all the terrible things where when we grew up, our parents used to say. So I have all the collection in North America. I hear money, they don't grow on trees. Do you think we are Rockefeller family? You know, stuff like that. And I was told by my mother, when you grow old and if you don't make enough money, it's like you're walking without your head. So this image just haunted me for years, because you know, if I have the money, if I have no money, my head will be chopped off. So like we've been hearing all the crazy, terrible, scary things about money. You know, our parents didn't want to scare us. They wanted to make sure that we'll be all right. But to make sure that we do all right, there is this threat and fear. So our parents used to try to control us with fear. That's why we are so fearful of money, work, and life. But think about it. If you are out of survival, if you have enough money, or if you have emotional and financial support from somebody, you probably focus on what you really, really, really want to do. So I hope you can figure it out sometime in your life, you know, and hopefully it'll happen before you're 80. And because, you know, even if you achieve your financial independence at the age of 70, not much time left. So I want you to start figuring out, when do you want to have financial independence, or when do you want to just be free from money, both financially and emotionally? Unless you start learning, like the rest of us in the world, we suffer till we drop.
Yeah, boy, that's not what we want to have happen, is it? Suffer until we drop.
Yeah, but unfortunately, that's the way we've been living. It's sad to say we are in the 21st century, like, you know, already 20 years. It's almost like a quarter of a century after, you know, we got into 21st century. But still, only like a few percentage of people are free, either emotionally or financially. You know, my advice is to you is start getting emotional independence first, and then financial independence takes longer time, but emotional intelligence, it doesn't require so much time. So after gaining emotional intelligence, you can start figuring out about money. And if you can do it in your 20s and 30s, you know, your life would be so much filled with beautiful time and memories after 40s and 50s. So I hope you start now, because you're the youngest of your life and also the oldest of your life. So a lot of people say like, oh, I'm in my 40s, Ken, I'm in my 50s. Do you think it's too late? No, you're the youngest right now. So if you just start doing now, or just start teaching your kids how to do it, and then you can save so many sufferings from your kids. So I hope you don't use fear to control your kids that way by saying terrible things.
Yeah, boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah, fear to control your kids. There's not any value in that. Let's hopefully we're creating love-based homes, you know, which is conscious living. Let me turn to something else, Ken. Just go in the direction of there's incredible wealth too, financial wealth around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Silicon Valley for a while, where, oh gosh, you know, just riches everywhere, financial riches everywhere. What would you say? And I'm sure you speak sometimes to people with phenomenal financial wealth, where they haven't developed yet a strong philanthropic, you know, in their lifetime process to give to causes that are important to them. So what do you say to these people when there are all of these incredible opportunities to philanthropically give, to support, could be anything like conscious living, what we do, or of course, downstream needs, housing, food, shelter, medicine, etc.
So it's like enlightenment. It happens in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, and 60s, and some people never get enlightened in this lifetime, and some people who have enough wealth realize that they have more than enough, and then start sharing what they have. So you don't have to become a billionaire to do that. Even though you are financially comfortable, I think you can be enlightened in terms of just having happy money in your life. So whatever I found out about happy money with wealthy people is that the moment they realize that their money can bring more happiness to them, they think like, wow, I never thought of that, Ken. So I hear a lot of great stories. The other day, one of my friend and a mentor funded a foundation, and he's giving away so much for the world. And so I think those people are starting to do philanthropy. That's a hard one to say. Philanthropy work, and then others would follow. So if you feel like sharing what you have in terms of wealth, wisdom, health, whatever, you can start sharing. And what you appreciate appreciates. So the money will also probably grow, and then you find the joy of giving. And once people find the joy of giving, that's very addictive. So you want to give more. And the more you give, more you receive. So some wealthy people find that happiness cycle. And if you don't, your kids may have to pay the price. Unexpected wealth or unmanaged wealth can make a lot of people very, very unhappy. So I've seen, and also I've consulted with a lot of wealthy families in Japan, and I know what it does to the psyche of kids. The first generation, they've done it all. So they know how to kind of deal with that energy. It's a big energy. But the second generation people, they are so naive. They're not exposed to this energy of making money and all that, and the jealousy and competition and anger and resentment. So they are the ones who suffer. So you have to know how the money influences other people too, or kids too.
Beautiful. Thanks so much, Ken. We're going to leave it there. What a great way to end this program. So this has been another wonderfully eye-opening discussion about the power of happy money and prosperous lives. And I know our viewers have really enjoyed getting to hear some of your expert guidance. So thank you so much for sharing your time and wisdom with us.
Thank you.
So thanks again, Ken. Wow, what an amazing program, and really appreciate it. So again, you can go to kenhonda.com to follow the good work of Ken out in the world. And Ken, any final words that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Thank you so much, Steve. And I'm so honored to be part of your summit, because I have a huge respect for America. You are so generous. You're the most generous people on the planet. And then you're giving so much wisdom, money, and knowledge and experiences and share with the world. So I am sending so much appreciation to all of you. I'm sending happy money energy to you all. Thank you so much.
We're receiving it. Thank you, brother. Yeah, what a total delight here to be with you, Ken. Look forward to our continuing collaboration.